Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dave Sebastian, coordinator of mentoring arts programming with Wayside. I am coming to you guys again today. The switcher's moving on me. I come to you guys again today to do some artwork in the home studio in Shirley. We are working a little bit more. Can you guys see me? Yeah. All right. Cool. We are working on some more of this fairy tale painting that we've been working on using Inktense, the paint pans travel set of Inktense. That's these here, these guys. There's what is it? There's 12 colors in each one, so we're working with 24 colors. It's not too bad. White is in there and ink black. Everybody else is sort of a spectrum. I recently heard that they're going to have a gray set come out. I'm pretty excited about that. It'd be really cool. So, because then we could do a painting with gray, a few videos back, we did a muted gray piece that was, that came out pretty good. That came out pretty good. Let me tip this light back here down a little. I feel like it was a little on the blinding side, and it was reflecting off my screen so that I couldn't see. All right. Right. So we're going to use those Inktense pans. We're going to work with. We're going to use those Inktense pans, and we're going to work with these water brushes. This weird yellow one. I don't know what the deal is with that. But we're going to work with basically mostly the Maltau ones, with the exception of these two, which are a Derwent, which is the same as the company that made the Inktense product. Inktense is a wicked cool thing. It's a new art supply. Like, when was the last time you ran across something that was new? Now, ink, excuse me, ink is not new. Right, ink has been around for time immemorial, but the what is new is freeze drying ink, so that you can make a solid out of it. I hadn't heard of that before, so when I first heard of Inktense, I was pretty excited about it because I love painting with ink. But ink has some limitations, you have to be willing to mix a lot of ink to lower its opacity. It's really easy to screw up, pretty much, because if you put ink on too hot, then you're stuck with it. So Inktense was a great idea, and then the idea of working with it with these water pens, which I've always used basically traditional paintbrushes, which I had one here in my pocket. Don't forget, So this guy here is a Liquitex brush, like really nice little brush. And I love brushes, I work with them. I used to work with them pretty much like every day. Now I kind of work with these water brushes. Excuse me. They're great, and they're all different sizes. The company that I use for paint marker, which is Maltau, came out with this set of squeeze pens, which is what they call them, and this guy had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 10. So over this project right now, we've actually used all of those. We used the 10 for the background, the 7 for layout and like the long strip of initial color, and then we moved over to the 4. I guess I haven't used the 7 a ton, right? The 7 is the one that we haven't used that much. Here's the 4. The numberless and nameless brushes. 10. So that must be this guy right here. And the proof that I haven't used it is it has almost no water in it. Well, can you see that? I'm sorry, I was in the way of the logo. Hey. There we go. You ever notice that when you're on video, it's impossible to know where you are, and the video is backwards. So it makes you kind of, I think I'm moving this way, but in the video I'm moving that way. It's kind of challenging, So in any case, this is what we're doing today. I wanted to tell you real quick a little bit about me and my programming. I said I was the coordinator of mentoring arts programming. What does that mean? That means I work with Wayside Youth and Family, which is a human service agency out of Framingham. We've created a partnership with the Department of Mental Health to fund a process of creating arts programming for the young adults of Central Massachusetts. I run an open studio program 2 days a week from 10:30 to 3 in a young adult program called Tempo Young Adult Resource Center. We built a basement studio there, and I've been running open studio programs for about 7 years there. If you're 16 to 26 and we're out of the pandemic, come on down and we'll do some artwork together. The intention of open studios, of course, is to is to do whatever you want. Like I have a whole bunch of different media in there that we can use, and that kind of stuff. And I think that everybody, there's a chance for everyone, to do something. So come on down, check it out if you're that age or if you happen to be in Framingham. I am only there those days. The rest of the days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I got a yawning problem today. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I am in the community of the 96 towns of Central Mass. Like I go wherever the young adults are. I'm looking to create arts programming and partnerships with different programs and schools and after-school programming and clubs and anything you could think of to try to set up a workshop in these spaces. Been sometimes successful, sometimes unsuccessful. It's a curl. It's a curve. A curl. It's a curve. In fact, right before the pandemic hit, I had finally gotten the chance to work with the Collaboratives of Massachusetts, which is where a lot of young adults who can't be in regular school go to school. Awesome place. And I was so excited for the opportunity to be able to work there. There's 400 kids in that program, and I was excited for a chance to work with them. It's not over, but we're already looking at nearly a year since that happened. It's like a lost year for all of us, right? It's kind of silly. In any case, that is a little bit about me. This programming, our Monday, Tuesday, Thursday YouTube programming is just an effort to reach out to young adults that I can't see in person. TAG, the TAG in the name of our program, is the art group, and that's just what it is. So we're going to be running these Monday, Tuesday, Thursday from 3 to 5, and on Wednesday and Friday we're on Facebook, Facebook Live from 3 to 5. We will try. I'm interested in trying to do more programming and different types of stuff. If you guys are interested in anything, please let me know. You can send the comments on YouTube. You can you can do kind of whatever you want. Like reach out, man. Let's let's get something going. Because so far I think I've done about maybe like 30 different types of media, and I've had a great time with it, but I don't know which one you guys liked. When this program first started, they referred to it as my airbrush programming. I feel like comparatively I've only done 25, 30 hours of airbrushing on here compared to probably about 100 hours of other art programming. So if you guys are interested in anything, please let me know. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're working on this fairy tale painting. I don't know why I can't stop yawning today. Although if you've watched any of my videos, I kind of yawn a lot. All right. So we're working on this project here. It's been we've been working on it now for 6 hours. I did it on Monday and Tuesday Then I was sick yesterday, and here we are at Thursday doing it again. This is about how far we got the other day. I hope you guys can see that okay. I'm trying to use some additional lighting and stuff, but I feel like it makes it a little bit shiny. Maybe we'll try to get in as close as we can when we're working on it. It seems like not as bad. We're too close there, but not as bad if we're closer. I don't know. Sometimes it gets stuck, you know how that goes. There we go. That's pretty close, you know, like that's about as close as I am. All we got is the tail sticking out there on the end. Cool. All right. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the history of how we got here at the end of our first session on Monday. Whoops. This is how far we got Monday. Awesome amount of work, you know, like some cool stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like the tail and stuff in the little town, I think make a big difference, you know, like are helping to us create some like real depth, you know, like some distance. You know, one of the cardinal mistakes that folks make is everything is too flat because they don't think about the depth around everything, you know, we do. I've been doing these videos for a while, and this space behind me is becoming more and more significant as a player in my live streams. You know, the few comments I have got is that Galactus, or do you have Star Wars characters on the wall? This is are you listening to me and watching me, or are you looking at the background? I'm hoping I'm more interesting than my books over there. But they're very interesting books, don't get me wrong. All right, so let's get right into it. So that's where we ended on session 1. This is, and right now, right, this is where we got to on session 2. Starting to tighten up. A lot of the colors are getting more aggressive. Whoops. And again, the depth is significant. You know, like we're creating some shadow on in some areas, you know, and I think that's a wicked important part of the project. You know, is we have to create some depth and then create some lighting. You know, these are the hard parts of drawing. These are the parts that, like, you know, are sort of inconvenient if you don't engage these things. You know, time of day, lighting, weather, depth, distance, foreshadowing, you know, that kind of stuff. Perspective. All of these things are really significant to make your drawing better, you know? If you try to think about those, even if you do them wrong, if you think about it, it makes a difference. You know what I mean? So that's a great way to kind of do, to get ahead a little bit and to make your drawings a little bit less flat. I'm lucky enough to see a lot of young adults drawings, and one of the problems is those things. Like, they get characters really well done, but their characters are standing in an empty background, and a lot of times without color. Myself am guilty of many years of using just black and white. I've only been using color now for about 7 years, but that's the thing. Everything is a little bit too flat. So we're gonna get right into the piece that we've done so far. And this is where we're at with that. We are going to back up just a little so you guys can see all of it. Where we were working the other day is in here. We were trying to create some of the scale. Maybe we'll go in closer since we're working in that space. All right, so we're trying to get some of the scale to have a little bit more depth, and then the idea also of changing it up here and there to try to, you know, make it, you know, if it was a creature's skin, right, it's not going to be all the same. You know, it's going to move around a significant amount. There might be sections that are pretty similar, but they're definitely going to be different. So one of the things that I was engaging was this pattern that I'm using, you know. And it's going pretty well, you know, like it's similar to a wing pattern. We're just overlapping, right? So you do a row, and then the spaces between each become the center of the next row. And we just keep doing that. Do a row, do a row. Now, one of the things that's important is that we engage the musculature of the character. This is one of the things that's going to make our piece really work, is the fact that, like, you know, these scales aren't just scales sitting there. You know, they're wrapping around something, you know, something that has a musculature to it. And then, of course, they're going to be affected by lighting, right? And just throw a little bit of a dark line in here, right? Right, so you want to use lighting and you want to get, you know, all that kind of stuff. But the shadow, I mean, this scale has been kind of a significant part of what we've been working on in the end of the last session. It was very amusing to think that folks watched me draw all of these scales. It must have been really riveting, but it's a necessary thing, you know. So we're about in this area right here as far as our scale development goes, and all I'm doing is going into these spaces where the scales would overlap with each other, and just adding a little bit of additional shadow, since they would be shadowing, you know, each other if that was, you know, if they were functioning in there. For this process, I am using our Derwent Light Wash Water Soluble Graphite Pencil, and it's working pretty good. What's cool about it is it's very different from the Inktense. You know, it's just a very different effect, you know, like a gray, but it really kind of, I dig it, you know, like I think that it's doing its job really well for me. You know what I mean? Another thing I noticed the other day, we had done the dragon's face, and it was just too bright. Like the color we used was just kind of over the top. Oops. This guy's got all, yeah, actually, you know what? He's got all yellow on him. Let's use some yellow real quick. I'll show you that thing in 1 second. So I went over this, and we were able to bring in some additional yellow. I wanted to see if we could keep that going, because a lot of this yellow that I used got a little muddy in the process of creating our shadow, you know. But this will give us give us a chance to like add some coloration in the concept of the darkness. You know what I mean? Like we got our shadow going here, and I think it's looking pretty good. But now we need to like make sure we have some light too. You know, everything shouldn't be really, you know, really shadowy and dark. And it seems like, you know, this is a fairly transparent yellow, so it looks like it's kind of working with the shadow as opposed to smothering it or taking it away. Another thing that's like a big mistake, you know, was a mistake for me coming up, is that you don't engage things like multiple colorations. You know, if you look at something in nature, how about the trunk of a tree? Now the trunk of a tree is brown, no escaping that. But look at it, and you'll also see the reflection of the sky and the ground. That a tree trunk is not reflective so much, but if you were painting it, you'd need to include some of that information, mostly in the shadows, because the shadows are what our eyes are going to say makes it real, you know, makes it seem clear to us and to make sense, right? That's a painting. The real tree, you know, like who knows? You know, that's up to the viewer. I'm extremely colorblind, so I'd be the wrong person to ask if the tree was catching any additional light. Now over here we're getting like a real kind of an orange, which is cool, because here would be in shadow with the rest of his body wrapping around like this. So one thing that's a little bit, you know, random is the graphite pencil, right? So as we move over it, you know, these brushes are wet, so they're gonna blend that graphite pencil, and the graphite pencil is what I use to draw all these scales. So what we don't want to do is to take all those lines away, because I'll only have to draw them again. But it seems as though in places the scales would not be as, you know, significant. You know, they wouldn't. They'd be flatter. They'd be simpler. I always think that they seem high in articulated areas. Cool. So we're putting a little bit more of this yellow in, and we're going to kind of try to use it as a highlight here, and then I want to try something else. All right. So we're getting a pretty good orange up there. So I know what'll happen there. Kind of looking for another orange. So I was thinking maybe if we use, so we've been using white, like I used white around his jaw to kind of push down the intensity of it. So now this spot right here, this scale, I mean, what would they call it? This part's not a scale. This is like maybe a spine or something. I don't know. But it's too bright. So I wanted to get in here and touch it up with the white and just see if that changes it a little bit. Know what I mean? I'm optimistic, you know, definitely optimistic. And then each time I've been using the white, I've been putting a little bit more in the whites of his eyes to see if we can get a little bit brighter action going on. I should probably do the same with the monkey's face. We're going to probably use sort of a creamier color for the monkey's face. So it's a little more like human skin tone. Also, you know, anytime you're working on something, you know, earlier I mentioned a single character in the middle of an empty page. What you always want to make sure you do is fill the page, right? Characters in the world today do not exist in a vacuum, right? I mean, they're out there, you know, so you want to make sure the backgrounds, that there is a background, you know what I mean? So here I was thinking maybe if we just hit him with a little white, we could then hit him with the yellow again and maybe be able to get like a little bit of a hotter yellow. But that's like an experiment. We're going to see how it goes. It worked, you know, this worked really good down here. I think it worked, you know, really well. All right. Let's back up just a little. So you can see the whole piece. There we go. Maybe add me up here in the middle. Can you see me? Just move me over a little so I'm not blocking your view. All right, so this brush now has nothing on it. I wonder why I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. Old man. There we go. What do you guys think of these glasses? They're magnetized. I kind of dig it. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm going to try not to get my head in the way. But this guy is just water, so we can use it to activate our some of our graphite pencil. Now I noticed that if you cover the graphite pencil in ink, you're sort of encasing it in a container that is no longer activatable, right? This is what I've learned in this project so far, among other things. A friend of mine was telling me that he's an extremely talented painter, and he says there's nothing left to learn. I could not possibly disagree more. I learn about painting every day, you know. I learn about effects every day. And even if I don't learn about a new one, I am discovering new ones in the process of working. Or my job at the moment, which is drawing and painting every day, requires me to figure out the problems that I don't know the answer to. But you know, I love it. I think that's a cool task to be set. Just going to take one sec there while that guy dries. Going to jump back over to our light wash. had this idea that if the, where the dragon is falling away from us, but if we were in this area here, there would be scales from his other side kind of sticking out to give this area less of a, less of, what am I trying to say? Just less flat, like it would be some of these, we can see some of the scales coming out on the other side. Just break that surface a little bit. Oh, that was too much. Just a little. Right. That will outline those bad boys when we're done here. With this color. Kind of pulled up a lot of blue. I don't really care for that. Alright, so we had used a little yellow, so we got to clean the yellow off that guy. When I sit like this, can you guys still see? We're activating some more of our graphite pencil. Hold on just one sec. Whoa. Jeez. Gotta keep my stuff going. So back to activating some of our graphite pencil. This too might just be a little big for what we're doing here. Where the heck did I put the cover? Let's try our 1, which is right here. Been using it a pretty good amount because I'm almost out of water in it. Oh yeah. There we go. One of the things I don't know if you guys can see them. Right, one of the great things about the Inktense pans is that they have these sponges in here. So if you got too much water on your brush, you just touch it in there and you're good to go. You know what I mean? It takes it away. All right. So out here we start to have the shadow not be so relevant because it's so far away. So out here we're just gonna try to activate this whole side so that it's facing away from the light source. Right? Same a little bit through here. All right. Cool. All right, so now we want to jump around a little. I was thinking about using this natural brown color to give us a little bit more in the trees. You guys see that? Oops, little Duplos. So we get a little bit more, you know, branches and stuff. The like to give these trees a little more buildup and stuff, but they're far away, so there's no need to do much. Do that just to pull some water away. It's better to do it with a piece of paper towel or something. As soon as you start getting ink on your hands, it's a downward spiral. You gotta get ink everywhere. All right. Working with the same thing here. I want to get our dark green, which is this Ionian green. I think that's our darkest green. Yeah. Well, I'll try this and we'll see what happens. Just want to try to put in a real Ionian green. A little bit of shadow here in grass for these buildings. This is not showing up at all. That's way too blue. Oh, that's because it's the wrong one. Awesome, old man. All right. So one of the things I think is important here would be to keep this green here from getting too strong. Just looking for some shadow here. Know what I mean? Like, don't want to overdo it, or let this color be too much of the rest of the piece, because it shouldn't be. You know, we don't want it to be everything. We want the grass to be a number of different sort of things. Now, I think it's a good shadow color, though. And I think it's working. just try to create a little bit of transitions here and stuff. We got this tree here, so it should be coming down the side of this hill in some way. I wish that I could draw lefty, but I can't. Especially with these guys, because brushstroke is so clear with Inktense that going the wrong direction really looks like you went the wrong direction. All right, we're going to change down here to a light green and just take some of it away. Light green. Right. Whoops. Too much. All right, so see, a couple greens make a difference. Now through here, the trees are blending in too much. So gonna have to kind of deal with that. Not 100% sure what I want to do just yet. But kind of looks all right. You know what I mean? So let's stop with that guy for a sec. Go back in with our Fearless water-soluble pencil. Right. Looking for a really, really sharp tip here. Be able to draw some stuff. Now, of course, these pencils are really, really soft. So you can't get much of a hard tip. I got about as much as we're going to get out of this guy. So all I'm doing here is trying to go past the sketchy lines and into something a little bit, tighter. Also wanted to take the water-soluble pencil and try to make the lines on this roof here. Already broke it. Don't use a lot of rulers, but sometimes really straight lines have a sort of a visual effect. You know what I mean? Like, if something is built by man, it often has very significant straight lines. Just have to make sure those straight lines are the same all the way up, which is, no screwing around. It's a challenge. I find if I just move up a little bit at a time with the ruler, get a nice clean roof line. There we go. Same here, up a little. I'm using the pencil because it's our hardest line at the moment. Cool thing about Inktense is that they also make a pencil, a colored pencil. So we could shift over to use those if we wanted to get more of a hard sort of surface. But we're probably not going to do that because I think of it kind of as cheating. Because what I really feel like is we got to work with what we got, this project started using the pans, and I'm going to try to stick with the pans. This was what I sketched with, so that's how we justify it being in there. All right. So now a couple more of these roofs. You guys jinx me now that I said that it's not easy, but it's not that bad to have to draw these straight lines. All right. Couple more roofs here. All right. All right, that's that one. As we get further away, the lines become less important. This roof, I was thinking, would have like a kind of a cap on it. So then the lines would be more like round, like this. All right. Same with this one I think we're going to do straight. Maybe it just has a pointy roof. All right. This roof up here obviously is too far away. Kind of thinking though that, like, who's to say that these, that what they use to make their roof with is something that you couldn't see from far away, All right. This roof up here, we'll do the round thing again. Gonna have to hit this one with some of this blue. Gonna have some flags up there. All right, now we got some roof tiling. So now we want to go in with this, our awesome number 1, brush. And we're gonna pull some of the ink out of these guys to build a little shadow, knowing that the sun is over there. Or whatever that is, the moon. I don't know what I feel like it is. Sun, I guess. Even the gray that we're getting from the lines themselves can help us to build up a little shadow. Because this building's facing away, would not have much, would have some shadow. Except catching a little from the other side. Okay. We got some cool stuff happening with our town. Into a town we could call it. If you guys were with me on Tuesday, I was feeling like it looks a lot like Minas Tirith, the White City in Lord of the Rings. Alright. Just throwing a little bit more of this graphite pencil in here, so we have a little bit more to work with. You know what I mean? So we can spread out a little more and did that bad boy the wrong way. Alright. Looks like the only building we didn't get any shadow on is this one. A little more here too. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. Cool. Alright, our town's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Our white over in this area is looking pretty cool. You know what I mean? As we turn this corner, that is like our brightest area. You know, like this is where the sun's going to hit these scales, or the moon, or whatever it is. It's going to hit these scales hardest right here. So it's awesome that the white kind of looks like that. Then we'll try to cover it with some yellow that'll hopefully punch up with it. Right here at the end of these guys. I don't know where you guys are, but it is raining crazy at my place. Oh yeah, it's pouring. Alright, so we got to let these whites dry a little. Same over here, this would be kind of lighter. Just gonna kind of do that a little. Careful, because this stuff stays wet for a long time. More right there. So over here we got our darkness. Some of these tips are a little dark. We might go back and make them dark again, but right now I want to pull them down a little. Alright, so that was the white we were using. Now we're going to move over here. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. Going to move over here into this section. I feel like most of these scales are pretty much finished, but well, I don't know really. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not totally sure. But I do know that I want like an orange. Maybe our friend Mango. Man, the kids are drawing on my stuff. Ridiculous. So Mango, I did a painting a while back. And Mango was the skin color. And it came out really great. I was proud of that. was actually a painting of my dad, who unfortunately passed away with COVID. He was a good guy. Oh, should probably do that in there. Little difference through here to show his jaw a little bit, and to give like a variety of the mango. This whole deal is the graphite. Now this is Inktense. This is just the graphite being activated. Mm. Okay. Looking all right. Where do we go from here? Our poor monkey has had better days. Maybe we'll go in with take a look at our monkey here. So, unfortunately, our monkey looks really angry, which is one of the reasons I wanted to work on him, because I feel like he looks mad. And, I don't know. Nothing's worse than a mean monkey. There's a slightly happier monkey. see how badly we screwed that up. I think we're gonna have to play the white trick again. Even though I might have to wait a sec because I don't want that to be too wet. Okay. Doesn't seem like the white really did as much as I wanted it to do, but that's okay. So now that we're into the yellow here, maybe we could move over into the area that we put our white in and see what happens if we put some yellow on top of it. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I don't know if it is as bright as I was hoping it would be, but I think it's all right. We'll keep working on it. I think the the white helped the yellow pretty good amount. Okay. Some yellow sticking off here and there. Keep going with the yellow. See the spots that we missed over here. Anything that we can heat up. It looks like this whole section is just our undercoating. So there's definitely room to add some more brighter yellow over here. Especially where it's more or less catching the sun. I feel like there would be a little bit of shadow from because the sun would be blocked by his spiny things. And then even though we kind of created a color there, I want to head back over to yellow. Just the top here, because again the sun is on the other side. Need some more white. I feel like in that area it's getting a little too wet. All right, so it seems as though our pencil is becoming our detail tool. Let's see how the other one does a little bit. Okay, so just kind of gonna see what we can get over here. Okay. Just as I had a feeling, if we get it to work, the scale sticking off the side, you know, they kind of look cool. I think that it's a deal, you know. Okay, so we need a shadow through here. Let's see what happens if we mess around in there. Okay. So this is the heavier wash one. Yeah, that's really cool. See, this is where we were getting too dark. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely shadow action. Try just a little of this guy. This is ink black. Let's see what we can do with it. See if it works better than our pencil. Let's try it. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. How you guys holding up? We're just passing an hour. Whoa. I just got some junk on my head. All right. Okay. So it seems like the ink black is kind of cool. So we're going to mess around with that a little. Move this over here so I can zoom in a little. Why don't we try this on our monkey and see if we can, don't want it to be too wet. I can give him some real black eyes. I realize this is kind of crazy small. That's too much. I'm not gonna lie, black is definitely an old friend, you know? Yeah. Sorry about the screaming, guys. It's just kids, you know how they are. Oh! You can't even see it. Yeah, you know, black is definitely a cool. You know, this is what we needed. That's what we needed. Just want to take a look if I have anything a little finer than this guy. Those lines are just a little bit too dark. See if our friend Mango can help us. Looks like not yet. Don't do too much or you'll just draw more attention to it. Just want to see if I have something that's a little finer. This will be the one that's not currently working very well. Okay, I'm going to try that. Okay. 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 Kind of liking the fact that this is giving us the opportunity for some detail. I feel like it's where we are right now in the piece, so. Don't want to use the same one we're using for black on yellow. That'll only screw things up. Pretty orange. Pretty orange. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what I was doing with this space right here. It seems like it should have a little bit of monkey and a little bit more dragon. So this is really just a wash of the ink black to see if we can use it to create a little shadow. That actually worked out pretty good. Still a little too bright. I feel like I'm not talking enough for a live stream. Last couple of days I've been editing a bunch of my old live streams to be able to put stream speed paintings. So it's an interesting experience to go through and try to take out all the things I've said, or even to go back and experience all the things I've said. Between here and Facebook, I have about 60 videos of painting. Hopefully there's something on there somebody wants to see. Otherwise, what the heck am I doing out here? I'm not gonna lie, I've been having a really great time on this painting, but on all of the paintings and collages and projects that we've done here together, I feel like I've had a really great time. I hope you guys haven't suffered through too much, although honestly in today's world, if you were suffering, you would leave. Right? So, I don't think I'm torturing too many people. Didn't want that to be that black. We just want it to be a wash. Alright. Just a wash. And that was darker than I wanted it to be, but so that at least makes his head out there, which is, even though, like I said, it was a little more shadow than I wanted to use, it was the effect I was hoping for. So right now I'm just activating some more of the graphite. Right, and to use that as a gray tone allows me to create some real quick shadows. Few too many drips there, so take those out a little. Kind of wandering around right now looking for spots that the paint, that we don't have coverage in our paint. Put that guy down for a second. We're doing good. Cooking along. Let me know again if you guys have any thoughts or anything like that. I am interested. I am definitely interested in you guys' stuff. Let's see. Yikes. All right. Well, I really enjoy being able to watch myself on YouTube at the same time. It's one of the funner things I've ever done. Okay. Okay. I like the idea of these things hanging off of his head to be a little bit longer than I had them. These things, which are, I don't know, horns or something? Ears? Maybe those are his ears. Okay. Not sure where all that color came from. keep going with our black here. Okay. Almost there, I feel like. Okay. Okay. Getting there. Okay. Occasionally my fingertips go numb. Anybody else that happened to you? I don't think it's a big deal. Alright. Just out of curiosity, I want to try something. Sepia one. So these are ink black. Now what I'm interested to see is that they're dramatically different than the rest of our character. The only problem is, this looks cool, but the brush is really, really big. So it's hard to make subtle lines, even though the brush looks like it's a 00. I think it's going to work though. Because I'm really just going to use this guy for our outline. He's obviously a fairly friendly dragon. This isn't smog or anything. Is that like a weird reference? Smog is the dragon in Lord of the Rings. Which is really one of the places that I know the most dragons from. Right? Cool. I like what's happening with this pen, even though it is a bit dark. Okay. Let's back up a little more so you can see what we're doing over here. Here it's hard to brush stroke backwards. It's hard, don't get me wrong. This one's an important one. It overlaps his body a bit. Whew. I like this brush, but man, it is hard to make small lines with it. Okay, let's jump back over here for a sec.